All right, this is the hexadecimal subtraction on page 6, and it's 231 minus A and C. And probably to help me out here, in order to figure out what these symbols mean, I kind of have to think in my own language. So I'm going to put the hexadecimal sequence on here to make sure that I got this right. All right, so I'm trying to subtract C, which is the equivalent of a 12, from a 1, which is going to be difficult to do. So like any subtraction, we do some borrowing. So we cut this 3 to 2, and that pulls out what is effectively a 16 that would have normally been in that position, because we can go up to F, which is a 15, but we can't put in a 16 there, so that would go off onto the next code. So we pull this out, we wind up getting 2, and we borrow from it a 16. So instead of putting a 1 in front of the 1 the way we normally do if we borrow a 10, which would make that an 11, this now functions like a 17 minus a C. So it's 16 plus 1, which is 17, minus what is effectively a 12, and that leaves me with a 5. So here it is, 17, and that's like a 12, so that leaves me with 5 left. And then I've got to come over to this column, and I want to pull off a 1 to do that, but I can't borrow a 1 from the other one because we're not borrowing 10s. But I can't subtract an A, which is the equivalent of a 10, from a 2, so I borrow again from this 1 and borrow what is effectively a 16 when I do that. So this is functioning like a 16 and a 2, which is an 18, and I'm borrowing 10 from it, or subtracting 10 from it, the equivalent of 10 from it. So it's 18 minus 10, which is 5, and that leaves me with a 5 left. So that's a 185, and that's in hexadecimal. That's not a regular 185. Remember, the 1 means that it's 16 to the second, and the 8 means 8 times 16 to the first, and 5, 16 to the zeros. So this 116 squared is 256 plus 8 16s, which is 8 times 16, or let's see, 128. And then this would be 5 16 to the zeros, or 5 1s. So if we were to add all three of these together, we get 256, 128, 384, plus 5 is 389 in base 10. Okay, so this is what I want you to be able to do. You don't necessarily have to convert it into base 10. I do want you to be able to perform this subtraction and make the result shown as a hexadecimal value. Hope that helps.